fix that. Get my light. Fix my chat. There we go. Some no idea what this one's gonna sound like because obviously I don't have my whole voice, but we're gonna do the best we can with what we've got. So I need to do something other than sit. So let's see what we can find. I like this one because it's got so many bright colors to it. Well, options for bright colors, I should say. And that is one weird looking rabbit. Let's see. I think we're going to do this guy. Because I feel like we can have a little bit of Oz-related fun without going copyright issues. And I switched out my coffee for tea. Figure it's probably a good idea. But I figure this could be fun. And of course, now my dog wants attention. That's usually what happens when I sit down for a few minutes. He has had hilarious delusions of being a service dog the past couple of days while I'm fighting this mess. He keeps trying to herd me back to my chair to sit and do nothing until I get better, which I am not someone who can sit and do nothing for any length of time. So, kind of makes it fun. I am going to do two different colors for or two different shades of yellow just because we can. And if I make funny noises on you, I do apologize. I am fighting a nasty cold. So I've been coughing, sniffling, sneezing, all of that fun stuff. So it's that time of year, and this is going around pretty much everywhere right now. I don't know what that is supposed to be. Hello, how are you today? It is not a drawing, it is a coloring book. It is actually an AI picture, I'm fairly certain. Excuse me. But it made me think of a different type of thing, so we're going to go that route with it just because it's got that feel. We're going to follow the vibes and hope it works out. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope my voice holds out for us. I didn't want to skip today. I had to call out of work already for this for yesterday. I don't want to sit and do nothing all day every day until this thing decides it's done with me, because that is not my idea of fun. Thankfully, coloring doesn't take too much out of you. I want a darker yellow for the outside. Hello, Prime. I am from the US and I am in Kentucky, and that is about as much as you're gonna get out of me on that one. How about you? Hi, Lori. How we doing? I sound awful, but I showed up, so there's that at least, right? This is a cheap little AI book that I picked up. I think I got this one on Temu, but I'm not 100% certain. Or Temu, or however you're supposed to pronounce it. But this gave me very strong Oz vibes, so I decided to go with it and have a little fun. Please pardon all of the sniffling, sneezing, and wonderful noises that I'm putting out over here. I was good. I did take medicine. It's just waiting and being patient for this thing to run its course. It. Hello, Wilson. This is actually a coloring book. It is definitely not my drawing. I wish I had that kind of talent, but no, not even in the least. So, we're going to have fun with it. We're going to do a lot of different shades for all of the flowers and everything. We're going to try very, very hard to keep the thoughts that this is giving me without being a copyright infringement risk. So, because it definitely has a very specific vibe for me. And it might be because I went and saw the movie with my mom last week. So, I'm an absolute fan. I think they cast both characters incredibly well for the movies. Yes, I did go see Wicked. But I grew up on The Wizard of Oz, and this just gives me such a vibe of that I feel like it has to be done. It has to be colored that way. Please bear with me if my voice is going in and out. It's just a wonderful bug that I picked up. It's the fun of working retail. It happens. I'm still kind of getting in my mind how I want to go about the castle itself, so we're going to go ahead and do some of the flowers and beforehand. I'm going to have to utilize pretty much every shade of green I have, I think, to keep the leaves and the leaves and the buildings very, very separate. But I think we can do that. I think we can actually have fun doing that. I've been contemplating this picture pretty much since I bought the book, trying to decide how I wanted to go about it. So I think it needs a good bit of fun. But ahead of that, the flowers do need a lot of color. And I've given myself away even if I hadn't already planned it, just with the first bit that I did. Sorry, I did get a bit sidetracked for a second there. You don't say. And if you are wondering, that is my dog Loki weighing in. He is trying to convince my partner to give him attention because he got up and was moving around. He does that. If somebody is up, they must pay attention to him. It's just the way it is. He might be just a teensy bit spoiled. There we go. Trying to make sure we have a lot of different colors in here. And of course, it's something I'm coloring, so you gotta have a decent amount of blue. That's just kind of a must-have, though it is a little hard on this corner here. I am going to hop up and grab a treat for a certain whiny pup to see if we can settle him down. Here we go. Cookie for Loki. Would you like a cookie?
You would.
Yeah. You would like a cookie? You would have a cookie. I totally don't bribe my animals, I swear. That did not do the trick. And now the birds are jealous because the dog got a treat, and they did not. But to be fair, they keep treats in their cages at all times. Loki gets treats only periodically throughout the day because he is a very large dog, and we don't want him to have joint issues because of weight. So his feedings are a little bit more scheduled. It's a little bit different managing 120 pounds versus about 80 grams. Definitely. Oh. There we go. It's just nice, pretty soft pink. I absolutely cannot do accents or things like that. I am not a voice actor. I barely have my regular voice and my normal accent right now because I am fighting a very bad cold. But I definitely can't do stuff like that. I wish I could. But there are definitely channels with people who are actually trying to break into acting and things like that, where they will do things like that. I just normally do yard art and furniture and things of that nature. But I can't be doing that kind of stuff while I'm feeling like this, so we're just going to sit and color and be happy with that. I don't really know what that is supposed to say. I wish I could help you on that one. Unfortunately, I can't do much with accents, and I'm not sure of what... I don't know that phrase particularly, is what I'm trying to say. I do have friends who are British, and I don't think I've ever heard that one. Hello, Stinky. How we doing today? You were in the right room, even if you actually were Stinky. I can't smell anything, so you have no problems here. I haven't had a sense of smell in a few days now. Might have something to do with the very, very, very congested sinuses. Part of the fun. Comes with a really bad cold. Oh, a bottle of water. Wasn't really sure what that was supposed to mean. You may hear some rattling and jingling in the background. That is my amazing partner taking the dog out for a walk, since he is being quite whiny. And I am going to pop my earpiece out for just a second, because you guys don't want to hear this close up. There we go. Sorry about that, but I didn't think you guys wanted to hear me blowing my nose. I'm sure you still heard it. It just wasn't right up in your ears. I am doing most of this greenery in the same shade, just because I do plan on using a lot of shades there. There we go. Yes, my flowers are all of a different color. I wanted bright colors and pretty things just because I can for today. And that is one advantage to paying the money to buy your own coloring books and things like that. Even if you can't draw, you can kind of make pictures look the way you want them to be, which is definitely helpful. And I think I might use a slightly different shade of green for these than I will for the foreground. And then all of my rich tones will go back, rich bright greens will go back there though. I don't know how many colors I'll end up using. So far, I'm on my 9th color. But I don't really count that, generally. I just kind of do what I feel. Today I actually have all of my colors in my stack beside me. Some days I do put them back in the box and lose track of what I've used and what I haven't. And the tea just soothes the very raw throat and upper chest from coughing and all of that nonsense. I don't take having colds and being sick very well because it happens to me so very rarely that I don't really have any tolerance for it built up. That's exactly why I keep mine to the side, Lori. Because as soon as I put them all back, I realize I need a color and I've got to go find it. And I am not nearly as organized as you are with your colors. Mine are a mess. I love my mess, but they are a mess. Get out of my purse, sir. What are you doing? I do apologize. Loki decided he had to poke his whole nose in my purse. Go get your treats. Go get your snacks. Go on, Bubba's. I may have to hop up and help out for just a second. Oh, no, he went. Loki is very protective of me while I'm not feeling well, which he's generally very protective anyway. But he's been even more so. We've been joking. He's decided he needs to be a service dog because he keeps trying to push me back into chairs and things like that since I hadn't been feeling good the past couple of days. It's cute, so thank you, babe. Got to appreciate the partner for helping me out there. He's been very helpful in getting me, went out and bought me multiple packs of tissues and the only medicine that I'll take because it actually treats the problem instead of just masking the symptoms. So I appreciate him very much for that. He's been very patient with me being very grouchy because I don't feel great. Yeah, almost done with the screen. I am glad I picked a nice soft green for this front. Might have to pull and frame this and give it to my mom with as much green as it's going to end up with in it. Which that is her favorite color. So and I think before I move on to another shade of green, we're going to knock these two trees out. If I can find just one shade of brown in here. This is more of a tan, and it needs a sharpening, of course. She's actually going reasonably quickly, so that's a good thing. Didn't realize we've been doing this for 25 minutes already, but... Excuse me. The idea today was to occupy my mind and keep me from wallowing, so I guess we're doing a good job of that. That looks more orange than brown, doesn't it? I don't like it. Let's do a little darker. That's better. I was not liking the orangey tones. And this is why I did not put my... why I don't put my pencils back right away. Because this area here will need to be that same kind of greenish tone. I do apologize. I didn't realize I had pushed my color off, my page off screen a little bit there for a minute. Hopefully you weren't stuck looking at the back of my hand for too terribly long there. I try to take care of my skin, but it's still not what you're here for. There we go. And I do apologize again for the sniffles and coughing. It's just part of the whole fun. Hopefully tomorrow's live will sound much, much healthier. Might be a pipe dream, but one can hope, right? Wishful thinking, that's what I was trying to think of. Might be more of wishful thinking. But this thing can't last forever. It'll work its way out eventually. It cropped up Friday night into Saturday morning, so I should be heading into the tail end of it soon. There we go. Now I need another one of my 3 dozen shades of green. Still a lighter shade. We don't want to go too crazy. I think I might have to do that wonderful thing where I pop this out real quick again. Oh, excuse me. I know that's not the greatest sound. There we go. After a while, it gets to where I get so clogged up I can't hardly sniffle even. And that is not fun. At least not by my definition of the word. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. We're almost to the point where we need a whole bunch of my really nice bright greens, which I'm probably going to employ my markers in there as well. Or colored pencils, I think. Or gel pens. These things. Some days my brain can think of the words I'm trying to say. Other days, not so much. Today we showed up, so we're happy about that. We showed up. You gotta have a good sense of humor. Now, I am doing this rather intentionally right now. I'm just kind of going through and pulling some of my more rich green tones so that I have them on hand. There is a green I'm missing that I want. I am missing it, right? Yeah. I promise I'm not nuts. It does exist. There it is. It's shimmery. So what we're going to be doing is going all different shades to make it kind of stand out. And there's going to be a decent amount of this sort of thing. I won't be using this one a lot as a primary color, but it does just add a shimmer that is hard to see like this, but it does exist, I promise. Rhoda brings things up to that slightly richer shade and just kind of adds a little bit more depth. So you can kind of see the difference before and after I add the second tone. It's funny, this one almost looks like he's got a sad face on him, which is just the way it's shaded in, but it's kind of funny to me. I think we're going to take and actually use this. So you can actually see that tone a little bit. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying really hard not to. That's more where I was wanting to go with it. I think this might be our primary tone. And we'll come in with some of the others for details. This actually gives almost the perfect ideal of what I was hoping to accomplish. Sounds like my cats are making a mess in my workshop again, which is not new. That's just who they are. They are cats, and it's a room full of all kinds of neat stuff to play with, so. And I promise it is going to get more and more interesting as we go. do apologize there. I forgot to take you guys out of my ear. But as we've been telling my birds for the past couple of days, I have a leaky beak. I gotta kind of keep up with it as much as I can. First time I had to blow my nose in front of the birds, they both looked both conures looked absolutely horrified, which is where the leaky beak explanation came in. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a flower or part of the building, but we're going to make it part of the building because I don't know what else it is. And once again, that is our daily reminder that this is an AI coloring book. So there are always going to be random things that just don't look quite the way they're supposed to. And that's okay. We're not going to fuss about it or let it drive our OCD completely off the rails. That has happened a time or two. I've actually had to stop a picture because my OCD could not handle it. And I promise I am not one of those people who just claims it. I am diagnosed, was medicated for a long time until I learned to manage it to the best of my abilities. There are still days where I get stuck in a cycle that I have to do things a certain way, but most of the time I manage it very, very well. You. I have grabbed that pencil like 3 dozen times. Now, where did it go? There it is. Let's give it a better point. Not a green, but trust the process. This does have a loose lead. We're going to pretend it doesn't until it breaks officially. I'm trying very hard not to have to completely resharpen this pencil. But the lead is very wobbly in there, and you may not be able to see it, but I can feel it. And it's challenging. It's actually quite wobbly in there. But it's not broken loose yet, so we're going to keep going. It wouldn't be my life if I didn't have at least one colored pencil break on me in the process, right? Oh, there she went. I knew it was going to happen eventually. But hey, she got a lot done before she broke, so we're not complaining. I need to pop my tea bag out of my tea before it gets too terribly strong. Just realized that. Gets to a point where it has a little bit of an odd flavor if you leave the tea bag in a little too long. There we go. Now she's nice and solid. For the moment, at least. Hopefully she stays that way. Might have sharpened a little bit too much, but that's all right. She's doing her job, right? This roof becomes one with the clouds a little bit there, doesn't it? We're gonna kind of pull it in. That's all right. Stuff happens. And there's where we left off when she broke on me. Now for the fun part. Oh, almost. Now let's add some details. And that's pretty easy. You just go in. You just kind of color in certain parts just to give it a little bit of depth here and there. Maybe give a little bit of detail to some of these odd spots where the AI creating it forgot what it was doing. And it's just not easy to tell what's what. Now I'm going to have some fun. After I come in here and just add some tone up under there. All this is just green glitter, basically. I am a huge fan of my glittery gel pens because they are definitely effective in creating a whole moment. I don't really like to color whole pages with them, but when you need to add some detail, they are definitely excellent for that. And I have a gold one here for the gold sections as well. And I promise I'm not nuts. I really did actually follow that line. I don't know why that line is like that. That one I missed a little bit. And this we just want to make it sparkle. Because we can. It really does actually make it sparkle. And we have been at this for a hot minute now, haven't we? There we go. And basically all we're doing is just going into certain areas and adding a little bit with this gel pen just to give it a little bit more definition and a little bit more sparkle. Because we can and because it makes it nifty. I'm a fan of doing stuff like that. And then we're also going to go in with my sparkly gold just for a little bit of definition on the doors. And like this roof that wasn't We're going to just give it a little bit of an odd definition there. And we're also going to go in on these flags that are kind of sort of there, but not really. We're going to make them actually be there. There we go. Starting to take a little bit more definition now. My cockatiels are saying hello. They do that on occasion. There we go. Another oddball little roof there. But I think I've done as much as I can to actually give it a little bit more definition. I think I am going to go ahead and stop there and call it a day. This actually went a lot longer than I expected it to be able to go. And I will be back on tomorrow, hopefully feeling a little bit better, hopefully sounding a little bit better. So until then, I will talk to you guys next time. Oh.